What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we need to talk about an IRS announcement. We're going to address a stimulus update, what we are seeing moving forward. Also want to talk about an issue that we are potentially going to have with employment. So I want to break all this stuff down. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful Saturday, but let's get right into it. First, Senator Joe Manchin, he says he is ready to begin negotiations on a new version of the Build Back Better Act. And he stated that we must start from scratch. Nancy Pelosi, she even believes that Democrats can get this done. But the issue is the bill must be smaller. That's the key. Now, President Biden, he also confirmed that the bill will need to be smaller, more targeted, and we're going to have to go back to the negotiation table because right now, the things that are being discussed doesn't have the overwhelming majority of support just within the Senate. Not even discussing about the House. So a lot of issues there, but we will see what happens moving forward. We also know that the White House has stated that they're going to talk privately and directly with Senator Joe Manchin. Now, this is, according to some, they say this is the key to getting this negotiation finished, finalized, and passed the bill. But in the end, and looking at, from all sides, this isn't the answer. Talking directly with Senator Joe Manchin is going to alienate other people within the Senate. What's going to happen, according to multiple experts, is even though the White House is going to get Senator Joe Manchin on board, others are going to be like, well, I don't want that. That's not my bill. I'm not going to support that. And that's going to be the issue is we're going to come down to the end. Senator Joe Manchin will be on board, but others are not. So right now we have 48 Democrats that do support the Build Back Better Act. Senator Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema don't. The problem is if we go this direction that the White House is wanting to go, we may see there's less Democrats on board because they feel alienated and they weren't actually listened to. So we'll see what happens there. What you do need to keep in mind, though, is that right now, the two worries for Senator Joe Manchin, one is inflation, the second is COVID. Health experts say that we should start to see a downtrend in COVID cases over the next few weeks, which would be great, because I know a lot of people are tired of seeing everybody, test positive for COVID. And we will also have the CPI report in January. That's going to come out on February 10th. So that is good news as well because this is going to be extremely important because this is going to give us an idea of where prices are headed. And this is going to be huge for Senator Joe Manchin. He wants to see that we are controlling inflation. So will we see that on February 10th? Or will we have to wait until possibly when the Federal Reserve decides to increase interest rates? I don't know, but we will see. The other day, we also got a major IRS announcement. I want to bring this to your attention. I thought this was interesting. The IRS announced that they will now require people to take a video selfie in order to access certain tools and information within the IRS website. They announced they will be using a third-party identification company called ID.me. Now, in order to get information, you will be required to provide a government-issued document with a photo. This means a government-issued license or a passport, one of those two things. And then you will have to take a video selfie with your phone or computer so that they can verify your video selfie with your photo. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting to see how this really plays out because last year I know there's a bunch of people that had issues with some of this software. So we're going to see what happens, but that is currently what is going to be done. The IRS does say, though, just to give you an idea, they will not require you to use the video selfie in this new ID.me application to file a tax return. So you don't have to worry about that. But if you want to get other information, you want to get some previous documents, that's what you're going to have to do. They also are stating this is something that's going to be done in the summer of 2022. So as of today, you don't have to worry about this. But moving forward in the next handful of months, this is going to be something that you will need to conform with. So just understand, it is in the works. We also know that on Monday is the first day of the filing year. You can now file, or not now, but on Monday you can file your tax return for 2021. So here's what experts are saying. If you're going to be getting a tax return, you're going to be getting a refund, it is highly recommended that you file your return on Monday or soon after. Remember, the IRS still has millions and millions of tax returns from 2021, or actually 2020 from last year. So they're already running behind just like they were last year. So if let's say you had to wait months to get your refund checks, just understand the same thing could happen this year. So that's why experts say if you are going to get a refund, make sure you file soon. Monday or soon after would be your best bet. Now, let's talk about employment. We are actually coming up to a major problem with employment, at least according to many employment experts. They are saying wages keep rising, which is good. Benefit packages are looking more and more lucrative, which is great. And working conditions are becoming better across the board. That's awesome. But where are we having these issues? Where is this major problem coming from? Well, I want to just keep you up to date on what's going on. We have seen 85% of the roughly 22 million jobs that were lost during the first wave of the pandemic. They have come back. However, there's one major issue that we could face very soon. Experts currently believe that there's going to be a time where small businesses just can't survive any longer without their normal workforce. And when these businesses end up closing down, more employees are actually going to flock to larger companies. And when this happens, what they are saying is there's going to be more demand for the jobs than there are current open positions. Okay? There's going to be more demand for jobs than there are current open positions. So what does that mean? Well, it would mean that employers could be a little bit more picky. They could go and try to really find the best person for that position and kind of weed out the ones that aren't very good, the ones that just don't fit their company very well. They aren't advancing. And experts also believe there's a window of opportunity right now for workers to get better wages and their dream jobs, but they have to act quickly. Experts are actually estimating that sometime within the next 18 months, okay, next year and a half, this window of opportunity is going to close, which would mean workers would not have as much say when it comes to wages, wouldn't have as much say as when it comes to their benefit package, or even the time off that they could get. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Because currently, the lowest wage earners are making 5% more per hour than they were just 1 year ago. People who are 16 to 24 are making roughly 11% more per hour than they did last year. And one other concern is that inflation is eating away at these wage increases like we have not seen in the last 30 plus years. And so one of the issues that we're going to face is the workers are going to be fighting for higher wages, okay, better benefits. But as every single person fights for higher wages, better benefits, what's going to happen is the lower earning the jobs, the kind of entry level jobs, those are actually going to be the ones that people are flocking into. Well, guess what? As everybody comes right back into the workforce, guess what's going to happen? It's going to push out those that aren't working hard enough, push out those that are making too much money, push out those that are taking too much time off. Okay? That's going to be the issue. So we're going to see major issues moving forward as to exactly when and what the issue is going to look like. That's what's kind of questionable at this time. But experts do say this window of opportunity for workers is going to close within the next 18 months. So if you are currently looking for a job, okay, or maybe you're not, but maybe you want to find the best job, your dream job, now's the time to start, because at some point we're going to see this cross between how many workers are actually looking for jobs versus how many jobs are hiring. Okay, when these finally meet, okay, what's going to happen is we're going to see a major shift. Okay, so I don't want to scare you into going back to work if you're not working. I don't want to scare you into quitting your job and finding something else if you are currently working. Just make sure you understand things are going to change over the next probably 1 to 2 years. So just be ready for it. Now, let's get to some COVID news for today. This is actually very interesting. And this also goes back to somewhat of a worker shortage. The FDA has authorized remdesivir as a treatment for some non-hospitalized adults and pediatric patients. But you must have mild to moderate COVID symptoms. Now, remdesivir was being used previously, but you could only get it if you were admitted into a hospital and if that hospital had it on hand, which many actually don't at this time. But here's the big thing. Reports are indicating that the FDA made this announcement due to the fact that right now there's too many hospitalizations that we've been seeing, as well as a doctor shortage. So that is currently what's going on at this time. But as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates. Again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.